If you've decided 2024 was the year of your low buy or your no buy, the timing was not on your side. Welcome back everyone. Today's video is going to be a new collection or rejection video. I am going to be reviewing some of the makeup products that I've been trying out recently. You've seen these in PR hauls, in chatty get ready with me videos, first impression videos, and this is where I come back to talk about what products I really enjoyed and what I'm going to be keeping in my collection and what products didn't work out for me and I will be decluttering, passing on to new homes. I'll link everything in my description box as well as the YouTube shopping button, including the makeup that I am wearing today. We're gonna have this cool toned 90s vibe going on. The shirts with the butterflies, it's a whole vibe today. But one thing when I was putting this video together and I was looking at the products that I need to do reviews on, I just kept coming back to the sentence of like, is it over for bad makeup? Is the era of bad makeup products done? Is the era of YouTube thumbnails like, or like, no, like I'm just trying to think of my thumbnails in my head, like the throwing up emojis, the crying emojis, the money flying away emojis. Like, are those thumbnails, like those days are over? I have heard people talk about in the past couple of years probably of how good makeup releases have really gotten. There just seems to be a different pulse on the beauty community right now, and there's not a lot of out and out misses. Now I will say, as someone who has tried to be a little bit more thoughtful with not only my makeup purchases, but what I'm keeping in PR, what I'm trying in PR, I'm also really trying to be cognizant of not buying makeup that I know won't work out for me. So I do want to point that out, but at the same time, there's products that I try. Like recently I reviewed the Milk Makeup Brow Gel and I'm like, you know what? I don't really like brow gels. I'm probably not gonna like this product. It's a favorite of mine. I was completely shook. Like, so there are times where I'm trying things that I think are a little bit outside my comfort zone or something that I won't love. I'm like, you know what? I might as well just give them a try, and then they end up being a favorite product or a product that I just think is really good. So it kind of goes back to the question of, do we just not have bad makeup releases anymore? I mean, there's obviously always going to be some that come through, and there's also going to be products that aren't particular favorites of mine, or they don't work out the best for you because of things like our makeup preferences, because of things like our, you know, skin type and all of those things. Maybe a foundation that works better for dry skin, you have oily skin. So of course there's always going to be that, but I think at the end of the day, it's been really interesting to watch the makeup community as someone who started to get really invested in it around the 2016 timeframe when I started YouTube. It's been really interesting to watch it throughout these almost 10 years and kind of see how great it's been and how good the releases have been. And then another brand comes along and they got good releases. And then this brand that I love has a new release and it's a great one. So that was something when I was going through my list and going through the products that I'm gonna be reviewing today, I just kept being like, oh, that's a good one. Oh, that's a good one. Well, that's a good one. I have been kind of on a official low buy for makeup for a while now, probably starting around like the end of 22, I want to say 2022. And if that is you, because I know I've gotten a lot of comments from people saying like, you want to be on a low buy or a no buy, I'm like, we've really chosen the wrong time. Like I would think of it like 2018 would have been easier. 2019 maybe would have been easier. I mean, I just feel like this is the wrong time, but I'm gonna share with you these products, my thoughts on them, and what I've been loving the most. Okay, let's start with a product that I don't think is the absolute best. I don't think this is the worst mascara I've ever tried, but it's definitely not a favorite of mine. And I have a favorite mascara that I'm going to be mentioning in this video. So this one here is from Merit. This is their, it just says Merit. This is the Merit mascara. There we go. So actually in my last collection or rejection video, or I think it was in one of my last like get ready with me videos, I used this one from Merit and I said that I had used it in a past get ready with me, but then I stopped using it and I couldn't really remember any thoughts that I had about it. So I pulled it back out, put it into another get ready with me because I was like, I couldn't put it in my last collection or rejection video because I just couldn't remember. And honestly, that's just kind of how I feel about the Merit mascara. Like it's good, but it's not very memorable to me. And I am pretty particular when it comes to my mascara. I have very basic, nondescript lashes. What did I say the other day in a short form video? I have regular schmegular lashes. So, you know, sometimes when you see ads for mascara and like you can tell the girls already have like banging eyelashes, right? And then they put mascara on and you're like, drop the lash routine, sis. But it's like they just already have great lashes and the mascara just emphasizes that. That is not me. We have regular schmegular lashes. So when I find a mascara that I really love and one that I will repurchase, like that says a lot to me. This one from Merit, again, I think it's pretty. I think it made my lashes a little bit longer. I don't think it did much for them with like thickness, but it wasn't anything that just made my lashes like stand out. So this one to me is not one that I would repurchase, not one that I think that I would need back in my collection. But a favorite on the flip side of that, I bought this mascara off recommendation of one of my favorite girlfriends. She's been in a couple of my Get Ready With Me videos as well. And I actually used this in my last Get Ready With Me that I had with my friend at Ashley. And this is from Tarte, and this is their Tarte XL tubing mascara. So I was telling her once in a video that I love the Tarte tubing mascara, the one that comes in a purple tube. And she said, oh, okay. She said, I don't think I've tried that one, but I really love the XL. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a try then. This mascara really is fantastic. I cannot stop using it. This is one that I'm going to repeatedly purchase for my collection. I did a few short form videos on it, and I just feel like you can see that it makes my lashes long. It separates the lashes. It just makes them, like it makes me look like I have lashes, and I love that. And with this mascara, I only need one coat, which I think is very impressive because I always need 2 coats, if not like 3 when it comes to mascaras. But this one just instantly has such an effect on my lashes, and I was like, girlfriend, you were not kidding. This mascara is fantastic. It's also a tubing mascara, which to me, with tubing mascara, I find that they don't smear or transfer onto my face or like my upper lid or anything like that. And then at the end of the day, I feel like it's a lot easier to remove tubing mascaras. It's kind of simpler to just kind of like wipe away at your lashes, and the tubes come out, and then you just wipe those away, and boom, you're done, you're good to go. This mascara is bomb. I'm here to say it. Try the XL tubing mascara from Tarte. You will not be disappointed. Another mascara that I have in here is from Covergirl, and this is their 3D Eye Enhancer Mascara. This is another mascara that I think is good. I think especially for being a drugstore price point, I do think that this is a nice mascara. It has a curved one here. This one definitely makes the lashes thicker as well as a little bit longer. I think if I wasn't trying this at the same time that I was trying the Tarte XL mascara, I think I would end up liking the Covergirl a little bit more. But the Tarte just has that one coat ability to it. It has like, it almost makes my lashes look more on the natural side. Like I don't have a ton of mascara on. I only have one coat, but it almost makes the lashes look like I just woke up like this type, and I really like that. With the Covergirl, you know, I do the standard 2 coats with this one, but I do think that this is a really nice mascara. Again, this is something that I've kind of touched on with review videos in the past too, of when I talk about makeup products and I talk about if I'm gonna repurchase something or if I want to keep something in my collection, at the end of the day, there's so much good makeup out there right now. I can't keep every single good makeup product, no matter if I think it's great, no matter if I think it performs well, no matter if I think it looks good on me. If I were to keep every single good makeup product, I would be swimming. I would be swimming in makeup right now, because there's just a lot of good ones. So at this time, like I really have to stop and think like, what do I want to keep in my collection? What am I going to get a lot of use out of? And it doesn't just come down to anymore. Like back in 2016, 17, 18, maybe even 2019, it was like, is this product good or is it not good? And now it's, this product is good. Do I need to keep it in my collection? Do I have something similar to that? Am I going to use this more than I'm going to use A, B, and C? That's kind of what I have to think about now when I look at my makeup collection, and also when I look at new makeup releases and I'm trying to decide what I'm going to buy, when new collections are coming out, when I'm hearing products going viral and I'm like, ooh, should I buy that one for myself? Those are the questions that I have to be asking myself now, because there's just a lot of hits at this moment. It's also been exciting to see some new brands that come out, and brands that are started by YouTubers and people who have really been in the makeup industry for a long time. I think about like BK Beauty, which was started by Lisa J. I think about Ravie Beauty. I just recently used their blushes and I have another blush on in this video today. Think about Ravie Beauty, that was started by Ali Glines. And then this brand here, this is Singe Beauty, and this was started by actually one of my close girlfriends, Angelica Nikves, who also started YouTube around the same time as me, is a beauty lover. And I feel like it's really interesting to see these YouTuber, influencer, content creator led brands, because these are people who have this passion for beauty and also understand it on another level. Like when you get invested into putting out beauty YouTube videos like we have done on a consistent basis for 5, 6, 7, 8+ years, you really learn a lot about beauty. You learn about makeup. You learn a lot about the products. You learn a lot about packaging. You learn about design. You learn about marketing. You learn about how it's going to be perceived on social media. There's so many things that go into that. So for me, I think it's been so fascinating watching so many of these brands come up, and because a lot of these brands have the hits as well. Like, they are coming out with fantastic makeup products. Again, in my last Get Ready With Me, I was using some of the brushes from BK Beauty. I just saw today that they're on Good Morning America, which is so amazing. I think about Ravie Beauty because I'm just using their blushes. You know, she just recently expanded their lip collection as well. And it's so exciting for me to see these brands because these are people that I have known for a long time as well. I've been able to talk to them about their passions when it comes to makeup and beauty, and now to get them to see them become these, you know, CEOs of their own companies and what they're going to do with them is just so exciting. And then we go back to Singe Beauty, which started with makeup brushes and then went into the puffs and the sponges. Now we have blushes. We're going into color cosmetics. They also recently launched makeup bags. It's just so exciting to see this, and these blushes are fantastic. I grabbed out my favorite shade. This one is in Timid Tomato, but Singe Beauty launched with 4 different blushes, and I do have some short form videos where I put all of the blushes on my cheeks. But even in my last Get Ready With Me when I was trying on the one from Ravie Beauty, I was like, brands are killing it with their blush launches these days, including the indie brands that are coming out and the brands that were started by YouTubers, by influencers, by content creators, whatever you want to call us these days. But these blushes from Singe Beauty are gorgeous. They have this very smooth blendability aspect to them that even something when I looked at Timid Tomato, I was like, it's probably not gonna be my favorite shade. You know, I'm kind of more of like a basic girl, and I like my, you know, my light pinks and things like that for my blushes. But I was like, you know, I'm putting all these blushes on my cheeks. I wear Timid Tomato so much. This shade is so beautiful, but again, it has this like smooth and natural look to it. It also gives a glowy, like a glowy flush to the cheeks, which I really like. It's not a completely matte blush, but it's also not sparkly or highlighty, because sometimes that can emphasize texture, which I do have. These blushes just absolutely nailed it. From the packaging, you can just see how well thought out and how detailed even the blushes are. But to see a brand, you know, launch and then see them do different products, go into color cosmetics for the first time is just so exciting. But a lot of these brands as well, from people that maybe you've been watching on YouTube for several years, they're coming out with the hits. Everybody's just be coming out with the hits right now. Every once in a while, a product comes along that you're like, oh, this product is really good, but you know, I bought it in my wrong shade or got the wrong shade or that sort of thing. That's kind of how I feel about this Rare Beauty powder. But it's funny because I like this powder so much, I kept wearing it even though I was like, this isn't the perfect shade match for me. So this is their Tinted Pressed Finishing Powder. I received this in PR and I got the shade Buff, which is just a little bit too, it's probably like a shade too dark for me, and also more on the warm side, where I pull more cool or neutral. So I got this and I was like, oh, we'll see. And I kept wearing it because I was like, this is such a pretty powder. It is a very like blurring, smoothing type of powder. I like it for all over my face. Again, it was a little bit hard for me to use this on my under eyes especially, but for all over the face, it was just kind of one of those like, you instantly kind of feel like you have a filter on. And I was like, this is so beautiful. This is one that I still go back and forth on if I want to buy my correct shade. But again, it goes down to, because there was a time where I had it in my cart at Sephora and I was like, you just need to buy this shade, your correct shade. But it's like, okay, I have a lot of powders and I have a lot of really good powders and I have powders that I really love. Again, we have another player in the game that this is a really good powder, but do I need it with all of the other really good powders that I have? It's hard out here, y'all, okay? And if you are struggling with your makeup purchase as well, because you're like, I know this one is really good, but I have all these other really good ones, I'm with you. I'm with you. I understand the struggle right now. I feel like this is still one that I'm gonna end up getting my correct shade in. Maybe during like a Sephora sale, if there's like a Black Friday sale, something along those lines. I feel like this is still one that I'm gonna pick up because I am a big powder girl. So I love my pressed powders. I love my loose powders. I wear powder every day and I love me some powders. So I feel like this is still one that I'm gonna purchase. Every once in a while, I still feel like I can kind of pull it off, but it would be a lot better if I had it in my correct shade, of course. But this is a really nice powder. Again, I really like the packaging on this. It also did come with a puff, and I really like this little puff as well, so you can buy the puff separately. But that's a fantastic powder. Another powder that just released recently is from Benefit Cosmetics, and this is their Professional Power Powder. this is my go-to loose powder right now. And again, it's just one of those things where I'm like, really? Can't we put out bad makeup? Can't we put out something that I don't like? Because I have other loose powders that I love, like the Laura Mercier translucent powder. That powder was popular in 2016, and that is still a good powder today. This one from Benefit, it reminds me a lot of it. I almost feel like this one has a little bit more of like a smooth effect. And as someone who doesn't have like perfect skin, I like that smooth effect that it gives me. I still think the Laura Mercier is great, but this says matte and blur loose setting powder. I definitely feel that blurring effect with this powder. So this right now has really been my go-to loose powder at the moment. And it's hard. There's just not a lot of misses right now. Do I need another loose powder in my collection? No. Am I gonna keep it? Yes. Because it's nice and I want to use it and I want my face to look blurred and smooth. Going into some complexion products, this was a viral product, and there's definitely a sense with making videos, at least for me and for a lot of my friends that I talk to, like you want to be in the know, you want to be trying the new and hot products, you want to have a pulse on what's viral right now and all the things. So sometimes it's kind of like FOMO in a way, but you're also like, well, it's my job, like maybe I should do this. So I bought the Tirtir Cushion Foundation. This is their Mask Fit Red Cushion Foundation. I got the shade 24N Latte. Now listen, I'm not saying that this is a bad product. Again, it goes down to preferences and that sort of thing. So it comes with this little applicator here, and then you have the product. Now I did purchase the mini. I got this on Amazon during Prime Day, I'm pretty sure. And I tried it out in a video, and it was interesting to me because I've seen a lot of people use this foundation, and I've never seen it done in the way where people in my comment section were telling me to use it. But at the same time, I've been seeing a lot of people, especially on TikTok, use this foundation, not necessarily YouTube. And I'm almost wondering, since the comments were coming in on YouTube, if you're watching people on YouTube apply it and they're applying it differently. But people were saying how they were applying it was taking the cushion, the pad, pushing it into the cushion, flipping back over this little black thing, and then tapping the extra product on here and then applying it on their face. And I was like, oh, that's so interesting. I never saw anyone do it that way. I think that this foundation is pretty. I just think that it's not necessarily for me because of my preferences when it comes to my complexion products. I like something that is very lightweight. I like something that is very natural coverage. And I don't lean towards a mattifying complexion product. I again lean towards natural, like radiant or glowy. I do have dry skin. So for me, even though like in my first impression video, I was like, this looks really good on me. And every other time that I tried the foundation, I was like, this is pretty. It's just not my particular preference because it is more matte and it can be a little bit more, I don't know if I necessarily want to say that I think that it's full coverage, but I also apply with a very light hand, but it's a very liquidy cushion foundation. I just feel like when I almost feel like it dries down to more coverage. I don't know if that makes the most amount of sense, but when I put it on, I'm like, oh, that's liquidy. It's a little bit more thin. It's a little bit more lightweight. And then I almost feel, not that I want to describe it as like paint, but you know, like paint dries down, it's like a little bit thicker. That's kind of how I feel about it. I also can feel it on my skin. And again, because I lean for something that's a little bit more on that lightweight side, like I love like the no makeup days kind of thing. It's just like a little bit too much for me. Is this still a nice foundation? Yes. And if that's what you're going for, if you want something with more coverage, if you want something that's more mattifying, then this would be a good one for you. For me and my preferences, I tried it a few times so I could review it and was like, I probably don't need to wear this again. I either like to wear just concealer all over, or I like something really light coverage like what I'm going to review next. So I'm actually going to declutter this one. Like I want to keep it because it's this viral product. And I also think about like the end of the year, like it's better to like hold up products. But you know, sometimes at the end of the day, when I put things into my declutter bin, sometimes I have like friends or family that I'm thinking about like, oh, they would probably want this one or this shade match will work good for them. Sometimes I still have it after a while. I can always like pull it back out of the box for a video. But I've really tried to get out of the mindset of like keeping every single makeup product and keeping them for videos because there's only so much space that we have. Only so much space I have in my apartment, but I'm bummed, and I feel like I'm bummed with myself that I bought it because I just felt like watching the reviews coming in and people trying it that I was like, this isn't gonna be your particular makeup preference. But again, there's so many good releases right now. Like, you never know when something's gonna end up being an absolute favorite. So at the end of the day, I'm glad that I still tried it. It's still a nice product. It's just not for me. But a product that I have been loving, this should be no surprise. I've used this in so many of my Get Ready With Me videos. This is from Sigma Beauty. It's their Skin Perfector Hydrating Tint. Sigma is one of those brands to me that does not have a lot of misses and hasn't had a lot of misses for years. They're a brand that doesn't come out with constant releases. They don't have a new release every week. They don't have a new collection coming out every single month. But when they drop their releases, I'm always interested, not only because Sigma's been one of my favorite brands since before I even started my YouTube channel. I'm always interested though, because I know it's gonna be a good product. I know it's gonna be a good collection. Their new Sigma Little Mermaid palette is so freaking beautiful. The lip oils in there are so beautiful. But this skin tint, this is what I have been wearing. When did I get this? I feel like I got it when I got back from one of my trips, maybe Italy. And I got back in like early August from that one. So for probably over a month now, this has been what I'm wearing. You've seen it in my makeup bags. I took this to Maine with me. I had this in my last Get Ready With Me. This is what I'm wearing so much, and I just think it's beautiful. And if you have makeup preferences similar to mine, I think you're really gonna like this one. So this says enriched with hyaluronic acid, vitamin E, plant-derived squalene, and niacinamide. This is a very lightweight product. I feel like even if I like go overboard, I'm like, ooh, maybe that'd have been too much. It blends out so effortlessly into the skin, and it just becomes like one with the skin. It's a definite your skin but better, which is my favorite way to describe my favorite makeup products. I love that it's a very natural finish, but it just kind of evens out the skin tone. It smooths things over without looking heavy, without looking cakey, without looking like you're wearing a ton of makeup, without feeling like you're wearing a ton of makeup. This has been one of my favorite releases of the summer, and I just keep going back to that one from Sigma. So I highly recommend it. I do have a discount code with Sigma, which is Samantha. To move over to some cheek products, I was also trying out these blush wands from Flower Beauty. These are the Ultra Light Liquid Blush Wands. Again, this goes back to liquid blushes are not my favorite. I prefer a powder, and it goes back and forth. There's been times I've loved liquid blushes. There's been times I've loved cream blushes, then powder. It always switches for me, right? Right now, I would still definitely say it's powder blushes that I'm into, but I got these from Flower Beauty and I was like, let's give them a try, right? They're great. They're great blushes, and they're Flower Beauty. They're a more affordable price point. I believe you can get these on Amazon and also Ulta Beauty. Have the little floof ball on them here, and then you press the product up. So, you know, similar to another product that maybe some of us know and love, but these perform so well. Ones too were like, even if I feel like I put a lot of product on, you can just, okay, I got my hand chain on, so it's gonna be a little bit, interesting. You start to blend them out, it just leaves like, it's not sheer. You can see, like, you can see the color, but it's not overwhelming. It blends out super smooth. I've used these with brushes and also with like a damp makeup sponge. I've been really impressed with these. The wear time for liquid blushes for me aren't always like the absolute highest in the world, but I still feel like they have a good wear time. I really like how they look on, and also like I was just blending this out and it's already dry. So it's not like it's like a sticky blush. It's not like my hair is getting in it or anything like that. Once you start to blend it out, it just gives you that nice flush to the cheeks. And again, these from Flower Beauty, like, I'm not a big liquid blush girl, but if you are, and especially if you want something at a more affordable price point, I think you're gonna like those. Let's move over into some lip products. So the lip liners that I have on right now, these are from Colourpop, the So Juicy Plumping Lip Liners. These are so nice. Just good products. I love the Colourpop lip liners. They're one of my like original Colourpop products that I fell in love with. Again, probably back in like 2015. It was probably before I had a YouTube channel, I'm assuming. But these lip liners I also really like. Today I have on the shade Slay, which is more of a dark brown. I'm going to a concert tonight. It's Ice Cube. So I wanted to like be more in like the 90s vibe, if you will. So that's what I was going for with my lip look. So we have like the darker lip liner with like the clear gloss. I have a lip oil on from Ofra that I used in my last Get Ready With Me. But these lip liners are super creamy. And honestly, I don't know if I noticed like a crazy plumping effect with a lip liner because I just overline my lips anyways, but they kind of have that like cool-ish feeling to them. I don't find them to be tingly at all, and they almost have that smell, like for products that have like that plumping effect, you can kind of have like that smell to them. Other than that, I just feel like they're a good lip liner. Even though they're creamy, I don't feel like they're slipping all over my lips, because sometimes if something's a little bit more creamy, kind of slip and slide around, or they just fade a little bit faster. I don't think these are my longest wearing lip liners. I think those are for like Natasha, Denona, and Charlotte Tilbury, and one that I'm about to mention, but they are still really nice lip liners. They get the job done. I always seem to have one of these in my purse on me at the moment, so those are really good. I do also have a discount code with Colourpop, which is MARCHBEAUTY. And another lip liner that I really have been loving, this is from Fenty Beauty. This is their Traced Out Lip Liner. I got the shade Thugs Blush 2. I used this in my last Get Ready With Me. I think I've used it in a couple Get Ready With Me videos now. This is so beautiful, and this to me is that creamy lip liner, but it doesn't move. This is such a long wearing lip liner. What happened? I wore this the other night because I got ready, and I think I was eating like pizza and wings that night. Like we were like watching football, and I was like, there is no way my lip liner is gonna last with it. No, it looked great. It still looked great. So I've been loving this lip liner, and this one is a little bit more of like that mauvey pink nude, if you will. The shade I got is Thugs Blush 2. I can't remember if I said it. Thugs Blush 2 from Fenty Beauty. I picked this up from Ulta. I know Fenty is having a 30% sale right now on their products. I don't know if it'll still, I'm not sure exactly when this video is going up because I'm actually getting ready to go on another trip. Heading out to Palm Springs soon. Fenty's still having their 30% off. That's a great time to try the lip liners. I also picked up from Fenty Beauty. This is their High Balm Gloss Stick. I got the shade Ravie. So again, I got this from Ulta Beauty as well. This is another really pretty lip product. I almost want to get in another shade because I think it's so pretty. And again, this is a product that I almost didn't buy because I like either like a lip oil or a gloss or a matte lipstick. Not a liquid lipstick these days, like a bullet lipstick. That's what I prefer. Something when I see like high shine, I'm like, ooh, or like satiny, I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I'm really gonna like that. This to me is the perfect combination between like a gloss and a lipstick. It just, the formula just works. And again, it's one of those things of like, if I didn't have a gift card to Ulta, I don't think I would have picked this up. Also, if I wasn't grabbing the lip liner, I wouldn't pick this up, but I'm one of those weirdos that like, I'm getting a lip liner, I'm like, I should get a lip product from the brand too. I don't know why I'm like that, but I am. But this is one where I was like, it's probably not gonna work out for my makeup preferences, but it's just a freaking good product. The whole theme of this video. Is there any more bad makeup out there? But this is really beautiful. The only reason why I say I kind of want a different shade, this pink is really pretty. It's definitely that like mauvey pink. I just tend to lean towards like nudes or brown nudes, and I almost got fussy and I didn't, and now I kind of wish I did because I had fussy in the Gloss Bomb and it's super beautiful, but sometimes it's just a little bit too pink for me and I wish I had something more nude. But because I like this formula so much, I'm like, you know what, I'm telling myself, Fenty has 30% off. It's a good time to buy it. But because that is my only formula in that one, I am going to be keeping that. If I got another shade, I think I would then declutter that one out and just pass it on to a friend who would get more use out of it than I would. That's another good option from Fenty. And then another lip product that I've been trying is from Benefit. This is their like Splash, their Moisturizing Dewy Lip Tint. I don't know where I got Splash from. Moisturizing Dewy Lip Tint, and this one is in the shade Skinny Dip. I'm so bored with myself of saying how good makeup is, but this is just another really nice product. I also really like this packaging from Benefit. This was something that looked a little bit different to me. And when I first opened it and I tried it, I was like, yeah, you know, like, okay, sure. Like, I'm sure it's gonna be fine or whatever. This is super pretty. How it describes it as a lip tint, I think makes a lot of sense. Like, it's more opaque, but it just, it gives a little something to the lips. I am someone who always wears lip liner. I love lip liner. It's one of my favorite steps. I obviously love lip liner. Love lip liner, but this is one where if you pair it with something a little bit darker, it's still gonna look good. You pair it with something a little bit lighter, it's gonna look good. You pair it with a nude, it's gonna look good. This is just a good product if you want a little something on your lips without it being like a heavy lipstick or something that is, again, like super opaque, like you're just running out and you're going for that no makeup look. That's probably why I like this one so much, because it's just a little something to your lips and then you're out the door and you're good to go. It's easy to touch up, it's easy to reapply. I'm really impressed with these from Benefit. I know they also came out with a matte version, and I know my friend Angie really likes that one too. So if that's more your speed, those could be something to look into, but Benefit did not miss with that one either. We're gonna end it off with eyeshadow palettes. I have 3 palettes. I have 2 from indie brands. So one is from Nomad. This is their Fuji 5 Lakes palette. This is so pretty. Nomad has such a nice formula. I know they get a lot of high praise, and I know I'm not like the most like indie makeup queen in the world, but Nomad just has a solid formula. This is one where I reference my friend Ashley quite a bit. She is in a lot of my videos, and she is someone who doesn't watch beauty YouTube besides me. She's not someone who's been invested in the beauty community for a long time. So sometimes it's fun for me to bring releases over to her to be like, what do you think about this? How do you use this? Let me watch you do your makeup like this. Because sometimes, because I watch so much beauty videos and have so many conversations about beauty videos, it's kind of nice to have like an outside perspective, if you will. And she loves Nomad Cosmetics. She has the, I think it's the Ghost Town palette that she uses a lot. You know, I love that for her. But this palette is so pretty from Nomad. And I love that we have like this row of reds. We have like some of the yellows over here. This Diamond Fuji color is so beautiful. That is one where if I just want something like, I want to say the word simple, but it's not a simple shadow. But if I want something to just slide onto my lids real quick, that's one that I can go to, and it's just like, oh wow, that's a really pretty eyeshadow. Do a bunch of mascara and you're good to go. For me, when it comes down to my makeup preferences, do I wish there was like a few more neutrals in here or something along those lines? Sure. I do really like the color combos that we have in here. Now, if I'm being very honest with myself though, how often do I go into color? And that's what I have to think about when it comes down to especially the collection or rejection videos. Am I keeping something just because it's a good, because that's what this is. This is a solid palette. This is a great formula. There's some really pretty shadows in here. There's some really standout shadows in here. But at the end of the day, compared to my makeup collection, what I have, what I use on a daily basis, I can't say that I'm someone who even goes into an eyeshadow palette every day. Sometimes it's just a single shadow. Sometimes it's just some liner. Sometimes it's no eyeshadow at all. It's mascara. Sometimes it's shadow sticks. I don't think I'm gonna get the most amount of use out of this palette as I will some of the others in my collection. So that's why I always like to point out that even like I recommend this palette, especially if you love the color story in here, you love a more colorful palette like this. This is a solid formula and one that I think that you will really enjoy. But at the end of the day, I can't keep every single good makeup product because there's just too many at this point. There's just too many. They're just too good at this point. So the Nomad is actually one that I am gonna put into my declutter pile. I don't know if Ashley will want it or if it'll be a little bit too colorful for her as well, but I know someone will be able to get so much use out of this one and love this one so much. And like the packaging, the artwork on it, so beautiful. But I just know for me, it's gonna be better if I move that one out of my collection. If you're interested in it though, or anything from Nomad, I do have an affiliate discount code with them, and that is Samantha. Another indie release palette that I've tried recently is from Oden's Eye, and this is part of their Solmani 2 collection, and this one is the Moon Wish palette. I love the Oden's Eye formula as well. I always say it's one of my top 3 formulas for eyeshadow palettes, and this color story, this one just really speaks to me because I especially love purples. I think purple with green eyes is so beautiful. And then like some of the golds in here, this one to me, even though it's more of a colorful palette, I still, not that I want to say muted, that's not the right word that I'm going for, but it's just a little bit more toned down than like the bright blues and the bright yellows and the bright reds and things like that. This one is definitely more of a me palette, and I just love the Oden's Eye formula. This moon shade is just so, you can actually, I can see like a dip in this shadow because this is one that I just go into again on its own. I think there's so many palettes that have really pretty like one and done shadows inside. I don't know if that's necessarily considered a one and done eyeshadow, but like to me, I can just go in here and grab that moon shade and put it all over, and it's so pretty. Maybe a little smudged out liner, mascara, and then like I'm good to go. And then obviously if I have more time or I'm feeling a little bit something, like this kind of like pinky mauve shade with the gold flecks in it, so beautiful. This Mercury down here, I wore this one day for a little bit of like a deeper sparkle look, so pretty. There's just so many different options in here, so I am gonna be keeping this one from Oden's Eye. I keep a lot of palettes from Oden's Eye, not all of them, because again, I can't keep all the good makeup, but I do keep a lot from the brand, but they just have such a good formula and their color stories. In my last Get Ready With Me, I was using the Eternal Twilight palette. It's actually what I have on my eyes today. I have the Eternal Twilight on. I used one of the gray shades for my liner, and then I just put some sparkliness on my lids. I did kind of a dramatic lower lash line, but again, we're going to a concert later, so I got my concert makeup on. But Oden's they really do nail it. And I do have a discount code with them as well, which is Samantha. You can also use it on the new collection, but that palette is so pretty. And then lastly, the final palette I'm going to be reviewing is from Natasha Denona. This is the I Need a Warm palette. I love this palette. Call me basic, call me boring, call me neutral. I'll respond to all of them. I'll answer to everyone. I'll do a double say yes. What you need? You call my name? I love this palette. And it's so funny to hold up the Oden's eye and be like, this is so beautiful, and then hold up the Natasha Denona, but this is who I am, okay? Sometimes I want color and fun. Sometimes I want a brown smoky eye. And my eyeshadow palette collection will give that to me. I love Natasha Denona. I'm such a broken record. She's my favorite formula for eyeshadows. I love basics. I love neutrals. But this palette is so fun. I did a look the other day with the Phenomena shade. And honestly, again, a one and done shadow in here. Just put this all over the lid. Boom. So beautiful. I did a lip combo video on Instagram, and this was the eyeshadow palette I had on. I had more comments about what is your eyeshadow than I did about the lip combo that I was showing in the video. But this is great. I love some of the new shades, some of the new formulas in here. I do have a video swatching every single shade on my eyes if you want to see that. But again, sometimes when it comes down to Natasha, it's like, okay, do I have to keep all of her palettes? And I typically buy all of these. I do have a discount code with Natasha. It's SAMANTHAMARCH, but I do not get PR from the brand. So figure that one out. So I typically buy all of these. I bought this from, I believe I bought this from Ulta Beauty as well. But it goes down to like, I have a lot of Natasha palettes in general. She's definitely the most that I have in my collection is from Natasha Denona. So do I need to keep this? I have a lot of neutral palettes. I have a lot of warm toned brown palettes. Do I really need to keep, I need a warm, yes. Yeah, I do. I need to keep that one. And this is one that I'm reaching for so much right now. I think it's a beautiful fall palette. Again, do I have other palettes in my collection that I can get similar looks out of? Sure. But it's what I love right now. And so I want to keep it right now. Natasha just does this to me when she comes out with palettes. I get so excited. I tend to purchase as long as I think the color story is going to work for me. Like if she came out with an all blue palette, I wouldn't buy it because I don't wear blue eyeshadow all that often. But the I Need a Warm, I just think that it has so many pretty shades in there. I love that we have some of the one and dones. I love that I can build up the different, like all the different varieties of the matte browns in there. I know if you love color, you're probably yawning at your screen right now, but I think that it's a really pretty palette. So if you want a more colorful option, I would recommend the Oden's Eye. If you want a more neutral option, I would recommend the Natasha Denona, but I'm keeping both of these in my collection. So that is everything. Those are my latest collection or rejection picks, and talking a little bit about, is there bad makeup anymore? Let me know, have you tried a bad release recently, or do you see it as well? Do you see the beauty industry just improving and improving? I would love to know your thoughts on that subject, and I'll see you in the next one.